Jeffrey Wayne Healing Shame. It is Friday, March 14th, and I really debated about what the fuck I was going to talk about during this episode. I was going to go into the consequences of untreated um, disease of family dysfunction and all the things that can happen, like high blood pressure, heart disease, even suicide. I didn't want to talk about that because people could get it misconstrued. It could implicate others and all that, and it just wasn't really worth going into. So, what I decided was to read something from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous that relates to my situation. It's a perfect example of what's going on with me right now. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, I'm repatriating. If you're new to my channel or you don't know much about me, I've gone back and forth. Asia, USA. This has been going on for a long time, many years. And I've always had a hard time repatriating, coming back, reestablishing myself in the United States. I've signed a year lease and I'm going to stay here in the nearby area around my hometown. And I'm going to give it a try, and we're going to see what happens now. So that's the big news for me. Now, what I wanted to do is read from a story in the back of the book. From the story's called "The Man Who Mastered Fear," and this relates to my situation totally. It's from page 252, back of the book, AA, big book. During my first few months in Akron, I was quite sure that I never wanted to see my hometown again. Too many economic and social problems would beset me there. I would make a fresh start somewhere else. After 6 months of sobriety, I saw the picture in a different light. Detroit was the place I had to return to, not only because I must face the mess I had made there, but because it was there that I could be of the most service to AA. Now, for me, it's taken me 4 years, 4+ years to realize, and I probably realized some time ago, I probably realized 10 years ago, it just didn't happen. But I finally got to the point to where I realized my hometown's where I need to return to, or the surrounding area, to where I can face the loss of my childhood. I can face the damage from the past. I can look these things squarely in the eye and gain mastery over them without running anymore, because I know I've been running. In some way, I've been trying to run from it. That's one thing to look at from the story. It relates to my situation. Here I am, back here, 45 years old. Now it's time to face it. I've spent a lot of time overseas. I've seen a lot of the world, and now it's time to be present. There's some fear. There are going to be challenges to face being here, for sure. But they can be dealt with higher power. Now, the other thing that got me was this. This is from page 255. Same story. This office job brought me face to face with a problem I had sidestepped all my adult life: lack of training. This time I did something about it. I enrolled in a correspondence school that taught nothing but accounting. With this specialized training in liberal business education in the School of Hard Knocks, I was able to set up shop 2 years later as an independent accountant. 7 years of work in this field brought me an opportunity to affiliate myself actively with one of my clients, a fellow AA. Now, I wanted to read that because that's one thing I've sidestepped too, is formal training. And what I'm going to do is get some formal training in IT. I've always enjoyed computers, technology, helping others with their tech problems, computer problems, whatever. You know, like my stepdad, I helped him all the time here. Um, but I've never had any real formal training in IT. I've done teaching. I did a lot of teaching in my life, but not any real hands-on troubleshooting stuff with computers, technology. So I've also done something about it. I've enrolled in a free training. I've been accepted, and it'll start in May. And then at the end of that, you'll get a certification for IT support certification, which I know I could just get on my own, but I want to go through the formal training, and I want to be part of something. I think I can learn a lot, and it'll give me something to focus on while I'm here. So that's going to be my mission, and I've already enrolled in it. I've got to go through it. I got to finish it. So that's going to be my goal while I'm here, is to go to that training. It's every week, 2 or 3 days a week, and I got to show up. I got to suit up and show up, and it'll make me accountable. And then I got to do all that, and then I got to take the exam and get job ready. Because this is supposed to help me gain some kind of employment in the IT field. And so basically, what this comes down to is reskilling, upskilling, and then landing a job in a career that it's basically a career shift. I'm having to reinvent myself. I was a teacher, then I worked in big pharma and quality control, and now I'm shifting into IT. And all the while, I'm doing this YouTube channel, making music, doing my art, writing. That's all side stuff that I definitely want to continue, but I got to have a day job to pay the bills. And that's just how life goes. So that was a pretty big part from the book that stood out to me. And then, there are parts here where he says he almost drank. Here's one more part, I think. Yeah, this is the last part. Page 257, the very last page of this story. The story is called "The Man Who Mastered Fear." Excellent. It says this. However, I must have felt deep down inside myself that living the selfish life of a bachelor was only half living. By living alone, you can pretty much eliminate grief from your life, but you also eliminate joy. At any rate, the last great step toward a well rounded life still lay ahead of me. So 6 months ago, I acquired a ready made family consisting of one charming wife, 4 grown children to whom I am devoted, and 3 grandchildren. Being an alcoholic, I couldn't dream of doing anything by halves. I love this guy's story. And then he talks a little bit more about it. He says, my wife, a sister member in AA, had been a widow 9 years, and I had been single 18 years. The adjustments in such a case are difficult and take time, but we both feel that they are certainly worth it. We are both depending upon God and our use of the Alcoholics Anonymous program to help us make a success of this joint undertaking. I mean, I've got to tell you, who is this guy? Who wrote this story? This was Archie Trowbridge. Archie Trowbridge or Trowbridge, probably Trowbridge. Archie T. And he's the one who helped start AA in Detroit, Michigan, man. Maybe Eminem went to some of these meetings. I don't know. Anyway, this is an amazing story. We're talking Archie T. We're talking back in the old days, man. Yeah, this was back in the old days. This is in the 30s and 40s, man. When he starts AA in Detroit. Great story. I thought Safe Haven was one of my favorites, but this one, The Man Who Mastered Fear, is probably my new favorite, I think. Acceptance Was the Answer. They're all good, but this story is amazing. I wanted to share it with you and let you see how it really, dovetails with some of the stuff I'm going through now. I've got a lot of fear myself that I'm trying to master. My teeth. This tooth right here is loose. Seems like it could fall out any time. And this one's got some bone loss. This is major bone loss on these lower teeth. And I need some emergency services to save those teeth. Splint them or do some bone grafting. Anyway, it's scary. And not only am I facing the teeth situation, but I'm facing repatriation, move into the apartment next month. All kinds of changes are coming. But I know if Archie T did it, he's probably long dead, if Archie T did it, I can do it. I can master fear. And, I don't want to live the bachelor life either. I want to complete my mission. I want to get a family, start one, take one on, and live a well rounded life. I like how he put that, well rounded. I want to have balance too and be well rounded. So there's a lot of work to do, but it can be done. And just wanted to share what was going on with me related to the reading and the book. And that's all I have, guys. Till next time, peace. All the best.